Hey guys, Aiden Struve with Struve Family Farms, and we're back out here today tine weeding our organic soybeans for the first pass in this field. So as you can see, the beans are out of the ground and rolling right along. It's a beautiful July 1st evening. So we just came out of June. We're sitting at July 1st, and these beans are about 10 days along. They were put in on, let's see, I want to say June 22nd. Yeah, June 22nd is the day that these beans were planted. So about 9 days, which is pretty normal for our first post-emerge weed-controlled pass with the tine weeder is what we always run. And what ideally I would have came in and got these tine weed once before they came out of the ground, but what happened was the day after we planted, we got about 3/4 of an inch of rain at this field, and we actually got 2 inches at our home place, so it kind of made a muddy mess. But so long story short, we weren't able to get in here and get it tine weeded before the beans were too close to the surface that I was going to risk breaking them off too hard. And so once you get past that like 4-day mark after planting, then usually your beans, are already well sprouted and about a 1/2 inch from the surface, and it's just too risky to hit with the tine weeder. So that's why we're out here on day 10, and we are getting them cleaned up pretty well, actually. You can kind of see over here is where I haven't hit, and this is what I have hit. And so we got the tine weeder adjusted, I guess kind of for our post-emerge passes when it's out of the ground. So if you see, the tines are either straight up and down, completely straight up and down, or they're actually just slightly forward, which is about perfect for the tine angle, because it lets them, bounce right around those little beans and get all the weeds out. But we can see here, that was a morning glory that yanked out right on top, and then all these little foxtails that are on top here. A couple of them are a little too big, and so they might still make it, but most of them are just laying right here on the surface. And so, yeah, I would run slightly more aggressive just to get a couple of the stragglers that are left, but these beans are just a little too small. And so I am doing as good as I can without completely destroying the beans, I guess. They're talking chances of rain tonight, though, and the next couple days. And so I don't want to risk not being able to get in here and get a lot of the weeds cleaned up. So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, that's how we're running the tines. You can see there's actually 2 rows because the planter came together, but it's going right around the beans, and we're not losing much stand, maybe a little bit. But yeah, you can see here it's actually doing a pretty good job rolling some dirt in on around those beans, and like I said, getting these guys pulled out and sitting on top. He's just right there in a little cloud, so he's gonna dry out and die and whatnot. If you see some of the bigger green out here, it's this milkweed, which is really the annoying part about this field. If you guys watch any of my videos about this in particular field, it just had a bunch of milkweed when we took it over, because it was kind of left untouched for a couple years. And so we're getting it knocked back, but you can still kind of see some of the milkweed out there. And the problem is it germinates really deep. And so even after you field cultivate, like, you come back the next day and some of it will be out of the ground here. And yeah, it really doesn't matter though, because it just gets like 2 feet tall and then dies off. So that's really the only thing out here. But yeah, we're getting the beans pretty well cleaned up, and we got our new 40-foot tine weeder, actually same one, but I added on a section on each end, and now we can run it with the 4640, which is really nice, because I got a cab, and I actually just have the windows open today, but got the cab. And so it's a significantly faster, especially this first pass. I can only go about 3.5 miles an hour because the beans are so little. And so having that extra 10 feet really makes a difference to get some acres covered. And so I'm really appreciating that. But yeah, we're pretty happy with how things are cleaning up around these little beans here. Like I said, there's a couple of these bigger foxtail that aren't quite getting pulled out, but most of those are in the middle of the row over here. And so everything like right around the row is really pretty clean. So I like to see that. Yeah, pretty happy with things are looking so far. Like I said, not quite ideal, not getting it hit before the beans are out of the ground because it didn't get it leveled off, which if you guys, have heard me talk about before, is a pretty big deal. Just because you can still see the ridges right next to the row. And so, which we do intentionally, and you make sure you get all the trash and residue out of the way. But if you don't get tine weeded beforehand, it can make it a little tricky. So yeah, that's what we got going out here, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.